Good morning. Just want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who is tuning in to our virtual press conference as we officially announce that through a dynamic collective effort from the Prudential Center and the folks, from the state and the county, and we'll be hearing from representatives from those folks today, that we're trying to create a super polling site for the upcoming 2020 presidential general election, pending a final vote by the Essex County Board of Elections to approve the selection of this site. This is incredibly important for us, given the grave time that we're in, and the extreme importance of this upcoming election. We need to make sure that we get as many people to participate as possible. We will be discussing in this conference the joint voting initiative, as well as explain the voting process altogether, which I think needs to happen, and speak to the importance of this collaboration with the NBA, the New Jersey Devils, the Prudential Center, and Essex County. Just want to say the National Basketball Players Association has played an important role, important part in this. In our area, we all might remember or know J.R. Smith, who was very critical in bringing us together to make sure, as the NBA Players Association tried to get arenas around the country to participate in becoming voting polling sites, that he did the same thing to try to make sure we did that here in Essex County. So I'll be remiss not to mention him and not to mention the NBA Players Association and, of course, the New Jersey Devils and Prudential Center for wanting to do this as well, and Essex County, our county executive, and all of the folks there and our state partners for working together to try to get us to this point here. This is incredibly, incredibly important as we're working on the census, as we're working on voting, as we're working on many things, and we're doing it virtually, we're doing mailings, we're doing as much as we can to get the engagement level high, and I think that this helps us tremendously in making that happen. So I want to bring on some of the partners as well. I also want to acknowledge our councilwoman, LaMonica McGarry from the Central Ward, who was in the room with me with her mask on as well. So I want to bring on at this time Jake Reynolds, New Jersey Devils president, with the mascot and details of the voting initiative period. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you to Mayor Baraka for hosting us all today. And we're so incredibly appreciative of the city of Newark and the state of New Jersey being able to join us as partners in this civic engagement. And this continues the commitments that our managing partners, Josh Harris and David Blitzer, have made in so many ways to help drive the community. And they have been so instrumental and vital in the community with charitable donations to RWJ Barnabas Health, to Newark Working Kitchens, to food assistance and education programs. They and their families are so heavily involved and truly embrace Newark. And for us, like they have worked with the Prudential Center now to kind of have that lead in and serve as a polling place for the general election. And it's been truly inspiring to kind of watch their commitment to making our communities better, stronger, and more united together. So our plan for utilizing the Prudential Center as a super polling site includes kind of 4 steps to help make the election process easier for our neighbors. And the first is being able to host a voter registration and census sign-up event on Championship Plaza on September 22nd. We'll be hosting a ballot drop boxes for citizens in and around the Prudential Center to be able to safely and securely be able to return their ballots. We'll be hosting a satellite office for the county clerk for residents who did not receive their mail by vote. And then we'll also be obviously hosting as a polling place for the general election on November 3rd. And this continues our incredibly strong partnership, and a big thank you goes out to the Secretary of State, the County Board of Elections, the County Executive, and the Mayor's Office, who all made this incredibly possible. And obviously, while the final vote is, with the Board of Elections is still pending, we anticipate clearing that hurdle and being able to move forward very soon. And I'm really proud of the opportunity and that we as the Devils and Prudential Center can be able to add through our social and our public platforms in education and awareness and the opportunity to be able to inform and engage citizens through our Go Vote Jersey platform, and to be able to kind of bring that together and be able to host a virtual voting hub on our website to be able to serve as kind of a one-stop shop for the upcoming election is something that we're incredibly proud of, and we view as an incredible responsibility for us. And sports is such an incredible platform to be able to drive real change and draw attention to where it is needed. And that is something the NBA PA and Michele Roberts have done so incredibly well, and I thank them for that. And for us to be able to use that platform to be able to educate and drive such an important cause is so valuable, and is something that we look at as an obligation and an opportunity for us. And lastly, I want to thank everyone who is drawing attention and awareness to the platform and our right to vote. And we each have our right, and we each have our own decision, and this platform continues to preserve that. So our goal is to make sure that we can continue to do that safely in an environment. We're excited that Prudential Center has the opportunity to serve as a polling location. Thank you.
Say that joining us as well was our council president, Mildred Crumpus here, and on virtually with us is Councilman Louis Quintana at large as well. At this point, I'd like to bring on Michele Roberts to give remarks from the National Basketball Association, Players Association, Executive Director.
Okay, here we go. Thank you. Sorry about that. Hi, good morning. I guess it's good. It's still good morning. Very pleased to be here. I think everyone knows that the National Basketball Players Association and the players in particular have been, even since the restart of the season, very anxious to continue to have their voices heard with respect to some of the issues that we're facing in our communities, most especially this election. Our players, even while here at the bubble, to include J.R. Smith, have been committed to using their platform to make sure that people appreciate the importance of this election and get out there and vote. We entered into an agreement with the team owners to make as many of the arenas available for voting. JR, who recognized that the NBA did not have a team in New Jersey, said, I don't care. New Jersey is important too. I want us to be a part of that process, and that's why we're engaged in this initiative. And so we will use our platform to encourage folks to go out to the Prudential Center, to register to vote. And we will also, to the extent we can accommodate it, be present at the polling site to encourage members of the community to come out and vote. So we are delighted that the mayor's office has taken this initiative. We're delighted that the Prudential Center is willing to do this. And as I say, we're here and we're happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Are incredibly excited to be partnered with the Players Association. The work that they're doing, Michele, and the rest of the organization. I think that the work that you're doing is important, is historical, and we definitely appreciate it in New Jersey. We just wish we had a team in New Jersey too, but we'll work on that. Next is Linda Von Nessi from the Board of Elections, the Administrative Board of Elections, please. Let's move on to Secretary of State Tahesha Way, please.
Good morning. Thanks again for your kind introduction and for your leadership. This is a great day to support our democracy. And given I'm, somewhat rounding out this esteemed lineup, I promise to be brief. Now, as Secretary of State, it's an honor to serve as New Jersey's top election official. And for the past 6 months, my team at the state's Division of Elections and I have been working nonstop with our great governor and his office, county election officials like Linda, as well as with other municipal and federal partners who are the frontline workers of our democracy, to ensure that COVID-19 does not interfere with voter access. And this effort is more effective when we have the engagement of responsible corporate citizens like the New Jersey Devils, the Prudential Center, and the NBA Players Association. So kudos to all speakers here for coalescing this opportunity for civic engagement in the heart of the Garden State. We are in a moment where elections is a team sport, and we need everyone to step up their game, which this group has done big time. And this also includes voters in Newark, across Essex County, and throughout New Jersey. We need you to be informed and start thinking about your plan to vote. Notably, we have 50 days until November 3rd. Know that between now and October 5th, your vote by mail ballot will be sent to you by your county clerk if you are an active registered voter. So please be on the lookout for it. There are 4 key words in connection to vote by mail: vote, sign, seal, and return. Start thinking. Do you want to return your ballot to a secure ballot drop box, like the one that will be located at the Prudential Center? Or maybe you'd rather mail it. And if so, please make sure that you give plenty of time. Or maybe you'd rather just drop it off at your county board of elections building or at a polling location on election day, as some voters will certainly do at the Prudential Center on November 3rd. That's what the Prudential Super Polling Site is here for, to make sure that voting is safe and easy. Moreover, everyone should know that voters choosing to vote in person on election day will do so using a paper provisional ballot. Disabled voters will continue to receive the appropriate accommodations, namely voting on a voting device. And if you are not registered to vote, you have until October 13th to register in this November election. Also know that if you are on parole or serving probation, you can register to vote in New Jersey without paying any fines. Lastly, the state has made it even easier to register to vote by going online. You can visit elections.nj.gov for this and all things elections. The prewcenter.com/vote site also links to this site. Ultimately, no matter what method you use to cast a ballot this fall, no matter who you vote for, make sure you vote. Our democracy is depending on it, and thank you.
Oh, I see we have a special guest up there. If JR wants to say something, please give him an opportunity to talk. If he wants to speak, we'd love to hear from him.
More than anything, I'm just happy to be here, happy to be a part of it. Just educating our communities on this voting process is extremely important. And again, I can't stress this enough, and I know multiple of my counterparts can't. It's not just on the presidency level, it's the local level as well, just getting the right people in position to actually make real change as soon as possible. And yeah, I just want to say thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Thank you to the fans for giving me this platform to help myself accountable. And this is the new switch, I guess. So look forward to it.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate all of the effort and the work here, and we understand that you represented us when it was New Jersey didn't have a team, but we have you. That's important. And so we were a part of this, and all of us came together to make this happen. And we appreciate your voice, brother. And good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
We want to open up the floor for a couple of questions from the press as we wait for Linda to get back on, Nessi to get back on. There's a few questions. I think our guys will manage those questions as they come in. You raise your hand on the, I guess on the virtual, and we will unmute you and answer your question. Any questions?
Amanda Steen has a question.
Yes.
This is a question. I have two actually. One for Jake to start off. And Jake, I just wanted to get your thoughts on, what this step means in terms of serving the community and sending that that continuing message of the organization to the city of Newark, the state of New Jersey, and also, just how there's this development of the Devil's Care Foundation as well, and just how impactful this can be.
No question, and thanks, Amanda. I think one of the things that I love so much about sports and entertainment is exactly that. It's the platform that it provides to be able to serve as kind of a civic center and a hub for our communities, as well as sports is the great connector. It is something that unites people from all different backgrounds and brings them together in kind of a unified cause. And so for us to be able to use the platform that we have to be able to go out and educate and serve and provide the resources for our community to be able to execute one of their fundamental rights, such as voting, and being able to have their voice heard through that process is something that we view as an opportunity, an obligation, and something we're very proud to be able to stand with, obviously, the city of Newark and the state of New Jersey on. And so for us to be able to provide that opportunity for the citizens of our community is something that we're incredibly proud of. The one thing I will add, obviously, is in and around the foundation. I know you asked a question about that. I think that's critically important, whether it's through what we've been going through with, as it relates to COVID, social equity, or this process in terms of being able to give citizens the right to be able to go out and have their voice be heard through the voting process. The Devil's Care Foundation and the Devil's Youth Foundation is something that we have put a lot of emphasis and a lot of resources behind in terms of being able to bring our community together, especially the youth, provide and pave a path for them to understand that their voice matters and their voice can be heard. And this is one of their fundamental rights, and that we are going to partner with them as well as with the city and the state to continue to make this a better place for them to live and raise their own families.
I see we have Linda Von Nessi back on. You want to try?
Good morning. Hopefully you can hear me now.
Yep, there you go. Perfect.
Hi,
Welcome.
guys. I apologize for taking more of your time. I know we're all so busy. I would like to thank Secretary Way, first of all, because it's her office that put me in touch with the Prudential Center. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience for us, as well as for the city of Newark and all voters. I think it's important that our education is clear so that people are aware of why they're going to the Prudential Center. We have 3 different dates. We're going to be doing a voter registration drive. Superintendent of Elections Edna Bow will be doing that on September 22nd. And our wonderful county clerk, Chris Durkin, will be providing the voters with an opportunity to go 7 days before election to get a mail-in ballot, an absentee ballot, should they not have received one in the mail. That will be during the week from 4 to 7. And on weekends, the time is still being planned, but it will be during the day. A great opportunity for voters to go and get their ballot. The Prudential Center has asked that we have a drop box that they're providing for us right outside the arena. And so after a voter gets that mail-in ballot, they can vote, they can drop their ballot in the drop box. And they will be picked up daily. That box will be open every day from the mailing of the ballots until 8 p.m. on election day. We will have all ballots picked up daily, and they will be secured here at our complex. I think regarding our election day polling place, we're planning on having 6 to 8 voting districts there from the city of Newark. It's going to be an exciting experience. We did our walkthrough, and I have to say that everyone at the Prudential Center was more than accommodating, and we're really looking forward to the operation. I think on the call today, my chair, Bethany O'Toole, is on the phone, and I think Bethany would like to say a few words about our polling place. Beth, are you there? Well, it looks like I'm not the only one that has an audio problem, but she was on the phone call. Okay, are there any questions regarding our process?
Yep, we're going through the questions now, so
We have a question
we'll
from
get back to the
Alex.
press and give them the opportunity to answer questions.
We have a question from Alexandra Hill from WBGO.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Hi, thank you, Crystal. This question is for the mayor. I'm sure some of the other panelists probably have thoughts on this as well, but I really want to hear from the mayor. A lot of talk about voter suppression, voter fraud, especially by mail. A lot of those messages coming from the federal government. I want to know what impact will this have in kind of countering that message and changing the narrative, and what that will mean for residents of Newark.
Well, I think there's been no evidence that, the voting process has been flawed or even fraudulent nationally through mail. There's probably, the percentages of that is so low, it's infinitesimal in terms of what's being discussed nationally. So I think the post office does a great job, and I think our Board of Elections do a great job. We have always done absentee ballots, have always done mailing voting. This is not something new. It's just a larger process and more volume. I think this endeavor helps us to make it easier to give people access, those who may want to come in and make sure that they have a secure place to drop their vote. They want to come in and do it the regular way, or folks who may have issue with the mail vote, they should be able to come out and still vote in a place that's similar to their voting poll and their voting site. So this is a great opportunity to get that done. We feel good about it. It's a central location here in the city of Newark. In fact, it is close to many of our senior buildings, walking distance even. And so we are happy that this is happening, and I think it encourages people to actually engage and participate in that. And I think all of us collectively are trying to make sure that the voting process is still solid, that it's still working, people still believe in it. This does that, just us coming together and making this announcement. Anybody else want to add on to that, they can.
This is Linda Von Nessi. I would just like to add that I think that I agree with the mayor. It's going to vote by mail we have been doing that in New Jersey for a long, long time. It is secure. I do understand why voters would want to go to a polling place and vote, and hopefully we'll be back to that soon. It's just really important that everyone that knows they're going to any polling place to vote on November 3rd, they will be voting on a paper ballot unless they are disabled, and then they will have an audio component on a voting machine that they can vote on. But anyone that comes in that's not disabled will have a provisional ballot, which is another paper ballot.
Mayor?
Yes.
Yes, if I may, I just want to echo the sentiments of yours and of course, Linda's, just underscoring that vote by mail is safe and secure. I know here in New Jersey, there's a chain of custody. On my website, we do have a method for those to track their ballots. And I also want to just, again, applaud this effort, recognizing that, yeah, we want to give voters a choice because we want to make it easier and accessible to every voter. And the Prudential Center will allow for that and also include the elements of social distancing, which we so very much need at this time with the COVID-19 pandemic.
Excellent.
Hi, this is Amanda Stein from the New Jersey Devils again. I was just wondering for the mayor, just to sort of talk a little bit about the impact that Josh Harris and David Blitzer have had on specifically the Newark community and the development, of the Prudential Center as well, and making it a voting spot, not just the voting, but also like the overall greater impact that they've really helped serve.
Well, I mean, specifically today, the important thing is that, you know, the willingness of Josh and the entire corporation, the New Jersey Devils, the Prudential Arena folks, to be engaged with the city of Newark, period, to make sure that, you know, and most of the issues that we have, they're always a great partner of ours, whether it's helping us deliver food or operations for children or hockey in the neighborhood, all the kind of things that they do. This is just an extension of that, trying to make sure that they provide access to voters using an arena like Newark Prudential Arena, as the Secretary of State pointed out. It allows us to allow people to come and vote in a socially distanced way. So there's probably no other place in the county that we could probably have this than the Prudential Arena. So if they didn't step up to the plate, we probably wouldn't be here today. If you know, J.R. Smith did not push it, and the Players Association and the Devils able to make this happen, we wouldn't be here today. Obviously, all of the local partners had to weigh in and make this real. County executive, Linda Von Nessi, the state, everybody. But without the New Jersey Devils' commitment to doing this, we have no location. So we are indebted to them for always being a partner of ours in the city. And any more questions? If not, okay. So if there's no more questions, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank the Secretary of State, Tahesha Way, Linda Von Nessi, Board of Elections, obviously Jake Reynolds, you know, the county executive, Michele Roberts, the Players Association, J.R. Smith, and all of the players in the NBA who are stepping up to the plate in this difficult time, voicing their concerns and their opinions, and doing something other than just dribbling the ball. Thank you all. We appreciate you for doing this, and I know the residents of the great city of Newark appreciate you as well. God bless.